Good morning, everybody. I am here. I survived. For once, I would like to commend Florida for actually not screwing up the election. Well done, us.
Yeah, we did something right.
Congratulations for doing something basic.
Hey, Nevada can't figure it out, and they've got people that count cards. Like, let's be honest here.
Dude, the
Nevada's going at it like Brian McKnight over there. Good morning and welcome to Start Sit Different Day. I swear I call this show the different things every time I say it.
Yep.
I am your host, Faith, here with our resident Miami fan, Josh, our favorite California female. Didn't want to isolate center. Sam, who's got the coolest cat ever.
He'll make an appearance, I promise.
Yay, Knox. Our resident Texan, Joe.
Well, don't call me a Texan.
You live in Texas. You're a
yeah,
Texan
but I am
right
not
now.
a Texan. I can tell you that right now.
And our favorite mustached Ohioan, Wheezy Wheeze the Mustache Man, also known as Ryan. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Thank you so much for joining us, Sam. I know it's very early out there in California.
No worries. Anything for you guys. I mean, I get up. I've been trying to get up early, like with the time change. I'm like trying to get a good rhythm in, like working out in the morning. So that means that by the time 5 o'clock hits, I am just a dead person. So you're getting me at my best right now.
I love that. Peak performance, Sam. That's amazing.
I try.
Peak performance, Sam.
I'm scared of that, Sam.
I think we're all scared of our peak performance selves when we're in our most tired selves.
Yes.
Especially at this point.
Maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
Don't want to get on Twitter running that way.
Okay. Legitimately help me out here.
I got you, Faith. I got you, Faith.
No. My question is, was there football on Thursday?
Correct.
Yes, there was.
Okay.
It was a very crappy game, but it was on.
Unless you're a Packers fan.
Or a Devontae Adams owner. Let me add that in the mix.
Or a sad Aaron Jones owner. But hey, at least he's healthy.
Hey, he played. And got a lot more run than we all expected because he was supposed to be on a pitch count.
Yep.
But their whole team had COVID.
I was just going to say. You got to be careful with the pitch count when your backups are Dexter Williams and Tyler Ervin.
I mean, the elite Dexter Williams and Tyler Ervin. I think you forgot to add elite before those two names.
Yeah, I often forget that when I say those names.
How about Richie James Jr. showing up?
So, Joe, do you know how mad I was that you and I have been on this whole backup connection thing forever, and then we didn't mention it for this game?
Yeah, we don't mention it. So sad. Although Richie James was like a deep bench connection. We had someone in the chat saying that he was tearing up their flag football league over the spring. So like that's super deep bench.
And you know who the quarterback was of that flag football team?
Probably Nick Mullins. If we had to take a guess. Wow. But yeah, no, great showing from Richie James Jr., obviously from Devontae Adams.
What could have been with Brandon Ayuk, you know?
Yeah,
especially with Jair Alexander leaving early that week. Oh man. What could have been?
Ayuk could have absolutely smashed.
McKinnon bailed managers out with a touchdown. That was nice.
Yep. Garbage time, baby.
Yep.
Time like garbage time to win a league.
Yeah. I do want to throw out Wednesday when we heard about everyone being out, we said bench your JaMychal Hasty, and man, did we get that one right.
Yeah. Josh still kept him as an upside.
I still kept him as an upside. I was just being lazy at that point. I didn't feel like making a new graphic. So
yeah. I would just like to say for the record, I think I have made an entirety of maybe 5 waiver claims all season, and I have spent 0.
No fab.
Any of my fab anywhere.
Hoard the fab. Hoard it.
I kind of hit this point where work was so busy that I was like, unless I do not have somebody to put in that spot. Knox!
Buddy, come here.
Knox has made an appearance only 4.5 minutes into the show.
He's like, screw you, Mom. I ain't going nowhere.
It's like, that's not my name. I call him like asshole, turd face, like a bunch of names. Like, I don't call him his actual name.
I call my cat bitch, so we're on the same wavelength there.
Luna.
Yeah.
You want to say hi?
Yeah, unless I didn't.
He's like, I bite.
He does not want to be up there right now.
No, he doesn't like being held.
That's my cat. Like, he wants to be held on his own accord. But
yeah, now he's looking at me like,
screw you. Yeah,
pretty much. It's on my terms, Mom.
I think I only have picked up players because I legitimately did not have anybody to start in those positions. But I'm like, if I literally have spent zero money, I'm like, screw it. I'm rolling with what I got. I don't have the energy to try and figure this out.
That's fine.
So you didn't waste a third of your fab on Naheem Hines, so that works out well for you.
No, I drafted Naeem Hines.
Okay. Then that didn't work out for you.
Worked out 1 week.
I mean, it worked out for week 1.
Yeah.
And last week.
Except he was on my bench last week.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, only favors he's doing anybody is if tiebreakers go to bench points. So
speaking of garbage time, Joe.
Hi.
Tell us about the injuries this week.
All right, we'll tell you about the injuries quick because I know we already see some questions in here. So Jimmy G, obviously, who didn't play Thursday night along with George Kittle. Kittle is to the IR. It's up in the air whether he plays again this season. Garoppolo could potentially play later in the year, but if the 49ers keep playing the way they are, there's no reason. They'll probably just shut him down. Julian Edelman and Myles Gaskin also went to IR. Most likely Edelman and Gaskin will play again this year. Gaskin more likely than Edelman, just based off of Gaskin being a young guy on a competitive team. Edelman being an old guy who knows his quarterback is bad at football. Matthew Stafford, keep your eyes on him if you have him. COVID list despite a false positive. His situation is up in the air. I believe if his test comes back negative today, he's good to go. So keep an eye on that, especially if you have any Marvin Jones shares out there as well. For the rest of the league, questionable. Get ready for it. It's another page of injuries. Josh Jacobs, Ezekiel Elliott, Phillip Lindsay, Devonta Freeman, Chris Godwin, Calvin Ridley, Michael Thomas, who is expected to play, Tim Patrick, Sammy Watkins, Devin Duvernay, Mo Alley Cox, Dawson Knox. Wow, that was beautiful. Mo Alley Cox and Dawson Knox. And then Cole Kmet. Doubtful.
They already, by the way, real quick, they already ruled out Devonta Freeman.
Yep, I was going to say, it literally changed while I was making the list. I remember seeing him on both lists now. So, yes, he is out.
Grazie. Doubtful, Mark Ingram, T.Y. Hilton, and Dontrell Inman, for those of you that had your Dontrell Inman shares. Out, Gardner Minshew, R.I.P. to Captain America. Matt Breida, Kenyon Drake, Carlos Hyde, Chris Carson, Adam Humphries, Kenny Golladay. Adam Humphries being down. Look out, Khalif Raymond about to rip up the Bears secondary and Jalen Johnson. But no, there are your outs for this
Joe,
week.
don't you know it's Corey Davis season?
I never said Corey Davis wasn't going to get his. I said Khalif Raymond might pop off a few. Khalif Raymond gets 100 yards and a touchdown. Don't say I didn't tell you anything. But there are your injuries here for Week 9. That is probably the second shortest injury list we've had all season, and that is saying a lot with what is happening. So, Faith, I give it back to you to start off our questions here in the chat.
All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna start with Troy King, TK, as he's commonly referred to. So he wants to know who you would rather play: Hollywood versus Indy, or Marvin Jones versus Minnie.
Marvin Jones, regardless of who starts at quarterback for the Lions.
Yeah, I have zero faith in Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely would have to go with Marvin Jones. And he did well last week, and with Golladay out, I think it's going to be consistent targets for him.
Yep.
I hate both of them and will look elsewhere. I'm not buying into this Marvin Jones thing, and I almost guarantee there's someone on waivers who you could outplay.
I would like to say this really quick. When Kenny Golladay is out, Quintez Cephas takes his spot and sees a good amount of targets as a result. He's probably available. And that might be the better pivot, especially in DFS, because he's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper.
Keeping in mind they played two tough defenses to start the year, but Jones in the first two games with no Golladay had a combined 78 yards and a single touchdown.
And for the record, every time they go to Minnesota, Marvin Jones does not put up over 70 yards or more than 6 receptions and no touchdowns. When he plays Minnesota in Detroit, the previous 2 games, he's combined for over 250 yards, almost 20 receptions, and 6 touchdowns. They're in Minnesota. Remember that. They are in Minnesota. If this game was in Detroit, this is a Marvin Jones definitely start. But if you're picking between those two, it's Marvin Jones. Hollywood Brown's a sorry excuse for a receiver in the NFL right now.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
Okay, so it says McSweet, but all my brain wants to say is McLovin.
Love it.
So his lineup is Derek Carr, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Darren Waller, Robbie Anderson, Tucker, and Washington's defense. And then he's got Crowder on the bench, Michael Gallup, Antonio Gibson, Carson Wentz, and Myles Gaskin on the bench, and wants to know. Oh, he's also got the Rams defense and wants to know if he should make any changes to his lineup.
Gibson over DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, that would be the only change I would make. Can't trust Gallup. Crowder may not even play. Gaskin on IR. Wentz on a bye. Yeah, I would go Gibson over Swift.
Yeah, I like that move too. Though I feel like Swift, he's had moments, but I think for a better floor, you'd rather have Gibson.
I was going to go Gibson over Robbie Anderson potentially because I assume that's his flex position. And
Kansas City has been good against the pass.
That's where I was going to go, but I have no issue. It's either you're taking DeAndre Swift and putting in Antonio Gibson or taking out Robbie Anderson and putting in Antonio Gibson. There's your one of the two.
Swift does have a decent matchup against Minnesota.
That's why I was going to say leave Swift in because Minnesota's defense is Swiss cheese. But yeah, I would find a way to get Gibson in the lineup either by taking Swift or Robbie Anderson out.
Josh, you mentioned
Mentioned
are hard. Mentioned that Wentz is on a bye, and I'm just curious because my Periscope decided to dip out last night. Did you see my comment last night?
Oh, about Adam Gase going to the Eagles.
About Adam Gase being great in Philly?
Don't you ever dare wish that upon me, ever.
Too late.
Because that's rude.
Adam Gase may kick a field goal instead of punting it in the fourth in overtime.
God.
20
hey, you know what? That tie is going to win us the division. So
congratulations, you will be what 5-10-1 and win the division, while Sam's Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go 14-2.
Wait, what's the two?
Division wins, the division win. Doesn't matter how you get it.
What's the two?
I was going to say,
What's the two? Honestly, Sam, I don't know. I just can't see that team going 16-0.
Well,
First of all,
I'm daring to dream that we can. So I'm just saying.
No.
I was going to say.
I mean,
as a New England fan, I refuse to believe that. I refuse to acknowledge that possibility. No.
I fully expected Sam to pull out a notebook and write Joe's name in it, like that Office meme.
Ryan. Sam.
Put it in the book, honey. Put it in the book.
It's in my burn book.
The Patriots are 2-6 right now. You can't hurt me. Like, it already hurts so much at this point that anything you throw at me, I'm impervious to bullet wounds at this point. My team is terrible.
We've taken so many bullets over the years, so many absolute slaughterings a la the hands of the Patriots. So you know what? We're gonna ride this train, and I'm gonna enjoy this moment because we've definitely had it the other way.
Okay, our resident favorite is back. Sean,
keep the show alive, Sean.
Yes,
love Sean.
Literally. Sean wants to know Jonathan Taylor, DJ Dallas, Tony Pollard, Zach Moss. He needs 2 of them in a half PPR.
DJ Dallas and Zach Moss.
Yeah,
I would do the same.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about Pollard if they rule out Zeke, but it is a tough matchup against Pittsburgh. So the upside I think is capped, but he's running with a purpose. He looks so motivated to actually perform and do well, and they'll get him involved in the passing game. So I don't mind his floor if they rule out Zeke, but for me, this is Dallas and Moss.
Yep.
But also Gallman is available, so he could drop Pollard for Gallman, but he honestly
that's not a
want
matchup I want anything to do with.
Yeah.
The Giants struggle running the football, and Washington is good at stopping the run.
And now they're getting Alfred Morris involved. Like, it's already a bad backfield, and they seem to want to spread it around. So
Washington's front seven is really good. Don't think otherwise. They are a very good front seven.
All right, a fun one. J.K. Dobbins or Zach Moss?
Zach Moss. Instant. Indianapolis is good against the run.
So is Pittsburgh, and he put up 100 yards on them.
I get Pittsburgh is good against the run as well, but I'm Zach Moss.
This feels like a don't chase last week's points thing for both of them, but Moss seems to be the one who could go in and score another touchdown this week.
Yeah, I think based on the matchup, you got to go with Moss.
Yeah, Seattle hasn't been great against the run either. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Moss rip a couple.
Yeah, your biggest worry is that because Buffalo's defense hasn't been great either, is that Seattle gets ahead. But Moss could be involved in the passing game. We saw that early. He caught a touchdown in week 1 before he got hurt. So,
Okay, Juju or AJB in a PPR?
Juju.
I think Juju has better upside. I'm down on AJ Brown this week. Kendall Fuller has allowed a 9.3 QB rating this year when targeted. 9.3. That is hands down the best among corners in the NFL. But AJ Brown has a touchdown in 4 straight games, 5 total in the last 4 games. So I think his floor is probably safer. But absolutely, if you're chasing points and upside, go Juju.
I'm not benching AJ Brown.
This is my favorite when they all disagree.
I mean, it's fun when we all agree, but at the same time, it's a nice even split across the board. I feel like Juju could have a big play here. What my concern with the Steelers only is because we're probably going to get ahead early. There's probably not going to be a ton of fantasy value to go around because we can just hold the lead and the defense is just going to finish the game out.
This feels like one of those
a big play.
This feels like one of those games that you're going to blink and it's going to be halfway through the second quarter and you're going to wonder where all your fantasy points are.
Yeah. It's going to be a little too easy for us.
Are you starting DJ Dallas over Damian Harris at flex in a full PPR?
No.
Not because I hate DJ Dallas, but I really like Damian Harris this week.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I like Harris. He's been the dominant ball carrier for them, and Dallas is and here's the thing. I feel like his stats last week were really blown up just from the 2 touchdowns because he had a very pedestrian game all around.
And Pete Carroll's already talking up Alex Collins. Like they're already talking about other running backs.
Alex Collins. That's a name I haven't heard in a couple years.
Oh, well, Dallas I love DJ Dallas, but he does make me a little nervous.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah. So Damian Harris, and also hi, Lauren. Sorry. Damian Harris is the only guy in that backfield. They don't want to give it to Rex Burkhead. They just completely forgot who number 28 is and how good of a Pro Bowl caliber running back that he is. It's Damian Harris, and that's it. They're going to pound the ball with Harris because Cam Newton can't hit the broadside of a barn standing 6 inches away.
So sad.
I'll rip him all day.
All day.
I mean, it's definitely valid. It's just sad.
It's very sad. No, it's very sad.
How high do you think Allen Robinson's value is compared to, if you're looking at his upcoming schedule?
I'll pull up the Bears schedule right now, Josh.
Bears.
I assume you mean trade value, and Allen Robinson's one of those guys that just never gets his fair shake of trade value, which is unfortunate.
No, I mean he's a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy.
So here's Allen Robinson's rest of season schedule. Titans this week.
Easy,
Vikings.
Easy.
Packers. Lions.
Easy.
Playoffs. Texans, Vikings,
Easy.
Jaguars.
Oof.
According to the fantasy footballers, they have the second easiest schedule for wide receivers moving forward.
Go get him. He plays Houston and Jacksonville in the playoffs and Minnesota. Ooh.
Yeah, he could easily finish the year as a top 5 wide receiver, even with Nick Foles throwing the football.
Oh, and hey, Nick Foles' revenge game, Week 16 against Jacksonville. Look out, Allen Robinson, 300 yards and 5 touchdowns.
It's
a double revenge game. It's an Allen Robinson revenge.
This is true.
It's a double revenge game.
So you'll want to stack them in DFS.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Make that note for Week 16. Plan ahead.
Though it does feel like starting Nick Foles in DFS is just burning your money. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, true.
Oh, good God Almighty!
I think we're on McSweet's question.
Yeah,
he's the next one.
I know. I was trying to get back there because my comments flipped.
Both.
DK or Cheetah? Also, who is Cheetah? I feel like I should know.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
I mean both, but DK Metcalf.
Who's DK Metcalf?
Bless you to whoever sneezed.
Stop.
That was my wife.
I didn't hear that because my cat says bless you.
Bless you, Ryan's wife.
Yes, bless you, Ryan's wife.
The accomplished woodworker.
Editor.
Is she really?
Apparently,
We found this out right before we went on air. Yeah, she's a former beauty queen.
She's a former.
She's slumming it with Ryan. She's an accomplished woodworker.
Talk about
The only
outkicking
thing
your coverage.
she doesn't do well is
We say that every time we learn something new about his wife. We tell Ryan, "You outkicked your coverage
oh,
by
yeah.
a lot."
Quite a bit.
The only thing she didn't do is marry up.
Damn.
Thanks.
Wow.
Ouch.
Tough.
Fair.
It's okay, Ryan. We love you, and that's what counts. Oh.
Well, it was a great show, guys. Everyone have a
But,
Ryan.
I mean, it's nothing personal. It's just like, can we talk to her too? She sounds cool, right?
I'll get her on the show. She also I have no problem admitting this, though it breaks my heart every time. In our main league, she played for 5 years. She won a championship. I'm yet to win a championship in that league.
Yes,
So,
queen.
Nice.
Queen, love it. Slay,
Love it.
queen, slay.
it's actually her trophy above my head with the.
Wow.
Oh, so you've been fooling
You're
us the
posing
entire
with
time?
someone
No,
else.
I admitted it the first time I showed it, you motherfuckers.
That's like holding the Shiva in your house when you
Yes.
haven't won the Shiva, Ryan.
It's
Wow.
not
That's
at all.
bad karmic juju. You can't
It
do that.
Does that
fantasy
mean why
gods
I'm never
know.
gonna win?
That's why you haven't won, Ryan.
That's why he hasn't won.
It's her trophy in her house
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
it's
but
in
it's like front and center behind you.
it's on your stream.
with the
Ryan.
women of fantasy football thing next to it. She is the woman of fantasy football in this house.
Ryan
That's
is
awesome.
worshiping a false god. Shiva. Next question.
What is happening?
I love the league. Sean!
Did we even answer the Tyreek Hill question? What?
Yeah,
wait,
we said
yeah.
both.
DK and
DK.
DK. I mean,
We said both, but DK Metcalf because of human rights reasons.
Okay.
Sean says I've been bojangling all week.
Love you,
it.
Sean.
Picking up a tight end for Kittle in this one league, 10-team PPR. Here's who's available on waivers: Jimmy Graham, Mike Gesicki, Burton, Schultz, Thomas, or Akins.
Well, you can cross Ian Thomas off the
Yeah.
list.
Yep.
I have picked up Trey Burton and Dalton Schultz in a couple of leagues. I know, Ryan, isn't Burton like your
Burton's
second or
2 or 3. I don't remember which one he is. Burton would be who I would go from this list.
I would go Trey Burton. I picked up Schultz because Burton wasn't available. And if you've noticed Dallas's offense, Dalton Schultz loves catching 5-yard passes in the fourth quarter when his team's down by 35 points.
Actually, though, I think Jimmy Graham would also be a good play. He had too high of rostership to have him on a stream list. And now with Cole Kmet missing, I know that's not a lot, but that's 1 or 2 more targets that might float Jimmy Graham's way. I'm fine with Jimmy Graham, too.
Kevin Byard's had an up and down season. I'm not ready to give Tennessee the
And Tennessee's pass defense has been terrible.
yeah, I would go Graham or I would go Burton there.
I will say, if you're looking for like a super deep target, Jordan Akins against Jacksonville, that feels like a smash game.
What about Darren Fells, though?
Yeah, it's just I don't like what Fells has done these last 2 weeks with Akins out. I'm wondering how that's going to shift.
When Akins has played, he's dominated the snap share among those two. So,
I hope
Wow.
Darren Fells.
Oh, it's Logan Thomas, not Ian Thomas. Giants are surprisingly good against tight ends. Logan Thomas is a nice play rest of season, but you don't want to play him this week if you need a win.
Thomas was 3 for 42 and a touchdown against New York a few weeks ago, but that touchdown came late in the fourth quarter, so it wasn't like he was being targeted a lot.
So Dingus, one of our fair friends north of the wall, just says never Nick Foles.
yep.
He's in Canada?
Yeah, Dingus.
So he's Canadian and sees how bad he is. Great.
Correct.
Fantastic.
He's got the bird's eye view. Don't you know that?
That's
just gonna say
very
right
true.
next
It's
to each other.
really bad down there. What's happening?
I found a tweet that was like, "Dear Americans, if you haven't been assigned your emotional support Canadian, one will be provided to you."
Love it.
That was great.
And I'm in a group chat with Dingus, and Dingus said I was assigned to this group.
I love
love
that.
it.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Cooter!
Love Cooter.
Cooter Doodle wants to know our thoughts on Cowboys players.
Well, first off, I want to give props to her and her absolute roasting of Linda earlier in the week.
Oh
That
my
was
god, that
absolutely
was hilarious.
Um,
So funny.
I If I'm being 100% honest, my favorite Cowboys receiver right now is Michael Gallup, and I hate saying that because for some effing reason, the backups want to throw to Michael Gallup. Not a bad thing. We were all saying that Michael Gallup should be good this year, and I think Josh, you said it like the target share is essentially virtually
the
even.
last 3 games, Cooper 22, Lamb 21, Gallup 20.
It's essentially even across
like
the board.
one game, one of them blows up, and that's it.
Yeah.
If I'm starting any Cowboys player this week, it's a gut call. I think it's a CeeDee Lamb week. If the Steelers are going to get beat, it's going to be in the slot.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a quick release kind of game for Cooper Rush or Garrett Gilbert, whoever it's going to be. I would avoid them if possible, but if you're gambling, CeeDee Lamb I like.
Yeah, if you're gambling, then that would be a good one. But I feel like our defense is probably just going to be looking for scooping up those targets because they're going to want to go to that guy. So yeah. I'm hoping for a lot of pick sixes,
Oh, would not shock me if there's at least 2.
Yeah.
At least 2. I'm sure that there's an over-under or a prop bet somewhere where you can guess how many pick sixes are going to be in that game.
And this is a week to eat the chalk on defense and DFS and pay up for the Steelers defense. They're worth every penny. I think they're sitting at 5,000 or whatever, but it's worth it.
4,900.
Pricey for defense.
Yeah, I think it's the priciest the defense has been all season. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I get the general gist, but
I,
Rohan Solo wants to know Claypool or Mike Williams.
Chase Claypool. Love Williams, love Justin Herbert, but it's the Cowboys.
Every time we want and expect Mike Williams to do well, he shits the bed. And this feels like it should be a great Mike Williams week, and I'm so nervous about throwing him into my lineup. It sucks, but I'm desperate at this point. But give me Claypool this week.
Go ahead, Sam.
I mean, to me, if you have a Steelers wide receiver, if you have one, you're going to start them, Deontay Johnson, Juju, or Claypool. One of them's going to see the big game, but like we said, this isn't going to be a super high-scoring game for the offense. I feel like once we get up big, you're not going to see that opportunity. So I might lean towards Mike Williams just for opportunity because once we get up big, they're just going to run out the clock. I do love Claypool. It's a toss-up for me, but I might lean towards Mike Williams on that one.
I like how they get him involved in the run game as well. So
yeah.
So Josh said it. When we expect Mike Williams to do big things, or we say to start Mike Williams, he always does bad. So start Chase Claypool.
We got to throw some good karma out there. Get that reverse jinx going.
That's all I'm going to say. Start Chase Claypool. I'm on the same boat as Sam. As they're gonna get up 28-0 6 minutes into the game, and then that's the end of the game right there.
Yeah, and then you're gonna see some other random guy that you don't have starting anywhere.
Ray McLeod.
Yeah, start
Ray.
Get a touchdown. Ebron's gonna get a touchdown. Vance McDonald's gonna get a touchdown.
Oh, and then Benny Snell's gonna get a touchdown. He's gonna go for 100 yards. Don't you know?
How about Anthony McFarland Jr. checking into the game for a touchdown?
Oh, for sure. It's gonna be every random guy after that because they're gonna just pull all the starters.
As long as Ebron gets one
out there. Yeah.
Okay, so Sean says that in the same standard league, he has Herbert and Josh Allen. He says literally everyone is saying Herbert, but something's telling him Allen might outscore him this week. So for y'all, Herbert or Allen?
Herbert.
Josh Allen is bad at football. Justin Herbert.
Here's the thing. Go ahead, Sam.
I was going to say, I don't think he's bad at football. I just think we've not seen what we've all hoped. He's just, missed the mark. But that said, I'm going Herbert this week.
Yeah, and you knew we were all going to tell you Herbert, but I'm going to tell you this. It's your team, and fantasy football is supposed to be fun. If you don't start Josh Allen, you're going to be way more angry than if you listened to everybody and started Justin Herbert, and Josh Allen does go off. I would start Josh just because of what you're feeling. Start Josh Allen. It's your team. It's supposed to be fun. Start Josh Allen. Yeah. If you're wrong, it was on you, and you're not going to be that mad about it. If you're right, man, is it going to feel great.
And if
Allen has a good matchup.
It's a great matchup.
It's a fantastic matchup. But you know what? So does Justin Herbert, and Herbert's been a top 5 quarterback.
Oh yeah,
basically since he came.
I'm pretty sure for the last 4 weeks, not including their bye week, my refrain has been: you don't bench Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
So
Herbert looks like a 6th overall pick from Oregon. and Josh Allen looks like a 7th-round pick from Wyoming. That's essentially what they're looking like right now. Josh Allen lit the world on fire in the first 3 games and then forgot how to play football. He hasn't looked good.
He hasn't scored touchdowns. I mean, he went for 300 yards in the Jets game and managed to not score a touchdown. I think he went for 74 rushing yards last week, which is great. Again, couldn't find the end zone. These are the things that are killing him. And if you're going to find the end zone, it's going to be against Seattle.
Sure.
So I have to say that you guys just kept saying Herbert, 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 Herbert. And all I could think about was Family Guy.
Ah, the pedophile. Yes,
Yeah.
Justin Herbert is not a pedophile, as far as we know.
Let's not do that correlation.
No, let's not.
He doesn't deserve that.
But can we talk about where the awe just came in? Joe said, Justin Herbert is not a pervert. And that's when Sam said, aw.
So mean.
It's true. He's not. He's not.
Not.
Justin
I
Herbert's a
love
great
that
quarterback.
Joe is definitively saying he's not when at first it was as far as we know.
As far as we know.
I feel like Justin Herbert is probably most likely to get carded anywhere he goes, even if he orders an orange juice.
Yeah.
He does have a baby face.
Okay, so Sean got Tua on waivers. And now it's Tua, Ben, and Captain Kirk in a 2 QB league.
Good job.
Who is he starting?
You're not starting Tua.
Yeah.
Keep him.
But I don't want to start Kirk Cousins either.
I mean, at least he has a better matchup.
Hands tied behind your back, you're starting Big Ben and Kirk Cousins. I'm not ready to start Tua. I mean, congratulations, you got Tua and dropped Jake Luton. Like, how did that happen? But yeah, Ben and Kirk.
Yeah, I would go Ben and Kirk as well. I want to wait because a lot of what the Dolphins' success was last week was not based on Tua, so I want to see it one more time.
All right.
Okay, so Aiden wants to know, again, I'm guessing with a trade, the value of Dallas Goedert.
He's still a top 10 tight end.
Yeah, I mean, tight end is awful, and someone pointed it out. They needed to use him very much as a blocker. And so they're going to eventually need to use him as a receiver, even though Jalen Reagor's going to just tear the world up for the rest of the season. But Goddard is the top 10 play at tight end, hands down.
Yeah,
Not this week.
Yeah, just not this week. They're on a bye.
Yeah.
But I mean, over the last 7 weeks of the fantasy season, weeks 10 to 16, he can absolutely put up top 5 numbers and finish as a top 10 tight end. Because and this is the thing people really need to realize with the tight end position, it sucks, and there's zero consistency outside of like the top 3 or 4 guys. Yeah. So you're really what you're relying on are those big boom weeks, and we saw in week 1 what Dallas Goedert is capable of doing when they feature him in the offense.
Even those top guys like a Kittle or a Kelsey, and yeah, Kittle's been hurt at points, but Kittle's had lower top 10 weeks or even outside the top 10. Kelsey's been outside of the top 10 or just barely inside of the top 10 2 or 3 times this year. Like it's at least, we've grown from in 2010 where it was Tony Gonzalez and the field. Now we're George Kittle, Travis Kelsey, then the field.
And
so we've doubled. We doubled the amount of tight ends.
Darren Waller deserves to be mentioned with those two names.
Yeah.
Darren Waller and Mark Andrews before this year.
And you can throw TJ Hawkinson in that mix. Dude has been a stud this year, and nobody is talking about him.
When Fant is healthy, too, Noah Fant has been crushing it. So we've gone from 1 guy to 5 guys, so we're growing.
But
all that means is you get a big-ass bag of fries with those 5
I
guys.
was just saying that.
Because 5 guys sponsor the show.
Boom.
Yeah.
really,
That's talked about fantasy football things over lunch at Five Guys once. Fun fact.
Yeah.
I love 5 guys. Haven't had it in a while, but big fan.
The last time I had it was when I had lunch with Josh. Okay, so Sean is down. Oh, no, just kidding. We're going to go back. Steven. He needs 2 in a full PPR. Gurley, James Robinson, J-Jax, or do you like Mooney this week?
If we're looking at just those guys named, James Robinson and Justin Jackson, I want to like Darnell Mooney so bad. I love Darnell Mooney. Our friend Sam Wallace loves Darnell Mooney. The issue is, and our friend from the north said it, Nick Foles sucks. So that's the issue is Darnell Mooney.
Ryan stuck.
Darnell Mooney, almost every time you watch him run a route, there's at least a yard of separation from the defender. It's ridiculous. Like, he creates so much separation. The issue is the quarterback can't get him the football. He had 5 catches, 69 yards, and a touchdown last week. That's startable wide receiver numbers right there. The issue is he's getting the targets, but those targets are ending up either 10 yards over his head or 10 yards before his body. That's the issue. If Darnell Mooney had a good quarterback, he's startable every single week, but I'm going to go James Robinson and Justin Jackson.
Very long-winded, but I agree.
I love Darnell Mooney. He's looked great. I had no clue who the guy was, no clue where he came from, and he's looked fantastic as I think he was a 5th or 6th round pick. But yeah,
the issue you have there is Anthony Miller had far more targets than him last week, and
what the hell?
I'm worried that you're going to see games where Mooney's just going to end up getting shut out if it turns into a big Jimmy Graham game or if they decide to actually throw the ball to David Montgomery.
The only Bears pass catcher that I will trust is Allen Robinson.
Yeah,
correct.
That's it.
And Jimmy Graham.
But to answer the question, Gurley, his value has been saved by touchdowns because he's averaging less than 3 yards a carry over, I think, his last 3 or 4 games. Give me Robinson this week against Houston, and Justin Jackson should absolutely destroy the Raiders this week.
Hey, you got a black cat too.
Oh yeah, Luna.
Yes, that's Luna. Yes, she's chunky.
My cat is.
You want to meet Knox? He's your friend from the
I love
West.
how Joe has to point out his cat's weight every single time.
Dude,
time.
she's chunky.
Wait, okay, how fat is she? Because Knox is pretty chunker too.
So is
He's a big chunk.
So we took her to
Maggie
the.
makes an appearance.
Oh, Maggie makes an appearance with the kitty. So if you look at her, right, she's got the chunk right in the stomach area. So when we took her to the doctor, they said that she's normal weight, like she's perfectly fine. But when she walks, she got a belly that sways back and forth.
Oh man,
My cat does too.
I love it.
A lot of hair.
I absolutely love it. When we got her, she was 8 pounds from the SPCA, which is now almost about a year ago. And now she is at 10, almost 10 and a half. So yeah,
Yes, queen.
she's built.
yeah.
She's built.
The last time I weighed Knox, he was hitting around 15. So he's big boy. Now he's all asleep, so I won't mess him up. Because then if I wake him up, he'll get pissed. But
Yeah.
he has like that full belly swing, and then
Oh,
he's
yeah.
kind of, I call him the pantaloons. Like he's got these like little chunkers on the sides of his legs, and when he runs, they kind of do this.
I love it.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. But both of your cats are fluffier than Luna. She's short hair.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you can tell that it's all just fat swaying in the wind. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
So Sean says that he's down 54.2, and the person who's playing has the Rogers Adams stack, and he needs
That's
the
tough.
most upside for one flex and an RB. So we have Gibson, DJ, J.K. Dobbins, and then DJ Chark or Jamison Crowder. And Jamison Crowder. I'm not sure I understand.
DJ, I'm assuming, is David Johnson.
David Johnson.
Yeah. So it's Gibson, David Johnson, J.K. Dobbins,
You need the most upside.
Chark or Crowder.
There's zero upside with David Johnson. Zero.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's no
There's
upside with David
no
Johnson.
upside. Consistent floor, sure. No upside.
Even against this defense?
Eh,
I like him this week.
What was it like
Right.
2 weeks ago when he played the Packers? There was no upside, and they have like
Hold on.
the worst
He-
freaking run defense in the league.
Give me 1 second here. He's already played the Jacksonville Jaguars once this season. He had 12 points. 12 points.
So safe floor.
It's a very
Well, yeah, that's what
Safe,
we're
very
saying.
safe floor.
it's a safe floor. Now, granted, he only had 2 catches that game. Last game he had 4, but he's averaging since week 4. He's been averaging about 15, 16 rushing attempts per game. The issue is the last two
Standard
games,
league.
it's been 3 yards per carry.
For what it's worth.
And it's a oh God, I mean,
Standard.
Gibson and David Johnson against my will, like.
Yeah, Crowder's strictly PPR, and we're not even certain.
I'm pretty sure he's out.
Yeah, they haven't listed as questionable still, but did not practice Thursday, and I didn't see Friday's practice report. He was expected to practice Friday, but I didn't see the report yet. So,
what are your thoughts on Gronk?
Without a touchdown, he's nothing.
Yeah,
Correct.
But in this current landscape, you have to start him.
Yeah. In this particular tight end climate, like what you guys were saying earlier, you just don't know who's going to hit different weeks. It could be Gronk this week. How do you guys feel actually about Antonio Brown this week?
100 yards and a touchdown.
Love him.
And then suspended after the game?
Correct. I wouldn't go as far as 100 yards. He's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, he's definitely going to score a touchdown. I think it's probably going to be like a 4 for 45, 54 type line and a touchdown.
Yeah.
I think it's probably about a 15 point PPR game.
I exaggerate the 100 yards, but just look at what Brady.
But you know what though? If Chris Godwin is out, I don't think 100 yards is out of the question.
No, that's true.
Brady loves Antonio Brown. Obviously, the skill is there. There is no doubt if you're looking purely at skill, he goes down as probably a top 5 wide receiver of all time by the time his career is over.
Yeah.
In non-football news, for any of you watching, they officially called Pennsylvania for Biden. So Joe Biden is officially your president-elect.
Congratulations to
Let's go.
Mr. Joe Biden.
I'm ready. You can't tell who I was rooting for.
Moving on. Philip Lindsay, Chenault, Jacoby Myers, and a PPR flex.
I love Philip Lindsay's matchup. But I also
Are we sure he plays?
Yeah, that's the thing. I also love Jacoby Myers' matchup.
Last I read, Lindsay's trending towards playing. Yeah, I think I'd have to go Jacoby Myers there.
Yeah, I'll agree.
The upside with Myers is that he plays Monday, so you have the opportunity to wait it out in terms of if Lindsay is called active and you want to pivot. I don't mind Chenault, but I know the issues with the rookie quarterback. But I think I would go Myers, but I would have no problem pivoting to Lindsay.
Pardon my ignorance. Have they said it's going to be Jake Letton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Confirmed. Sam?
I would lean towards Lindsay. I feel like he's just been a little bit more consistent. And I like the matchup a lot for him. I feel like this could be a big Philip Lindsay game.
Agreed.
So in the group chat that I'm in with Dingus, he just said that he can't handle fat cat shaming.
I'm
It's not shaming. It's like,
I'm loving.
There's lots to love about these cats. They have more to love.
Yeah. You just shake them. They get mad that you're shaking their fat, and then they're like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Give them
it's
a little
great.
wiggle.
Yeah,
Watson or Josh Allen?
Deshaun Watson.
Sean Watson.
Watson.
Yep. I have Watson as my upside this week.
So start Josh Allen.
I'm sorry, you put Cam Newton as your upside last week, right?
One fumble ruined everything. We wouldn't even be having this discussion.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Who was your upside, Joe? Remind me.
Ben DiNucci, baby.
Oh, 151 yards. no touchdowns.
Let me preface that I did say on the show,
That
not start Ben DiNucci.
That he likes to be wrong. Josh Allen.
Wow,
I'm
dude.
switching my answer to officially Josh Allen.
Wow, that's big time. Coming from a guy that suggested Cam Newton.
For the record, I would
Cam
go
Newton got more
Watson,
points
and
than
Cam
Ben
Newton's
DiNucci.
my upside this week. So
Yeah, Josh is obviously an idiot. So, God, Cam Newton's so. Again, this is the week. This is the week where it all falls apart. We lose to the winless Jets. This is the week. This is the week. Another Miami miracle
I
happening.
rebuke that in the name of Jesus, Joe.
In the name of Joe Biden.
Rebuke. No, he ain't my Jesus.
Dude, I want to see the I've never rooted against the Patriots, but I want to see them lose this week so badly. You have no idea. I don't want to see Cam Newton in a Patriots jersey ever again. I want Cam Newton to have the worst game of his career and never play in a Patriots jersey again. I'm done.
Wow.
I want them to get. They're not going to get eviscerated. That's not going to happen. It's the Jets. I want them to lose because of Cam Newton. That's what I want. No more Cam Newton.
I will say that we see every year that Adam Gase starts like so slow and then somehow finds a way to win games late in the season to like save his job
and beat the Patriots.
It would not surprise me if he pulled a rabbit out of his ass this week and found a way to win.
Josh?
He's the guy in a group project that didn't do anything the entire semester, but then presents yours and just does a good job presenting. They're like, oh, you really just nailed it. You're like, you didn't do any of the work. He's getting all the credit.
There you go.
You showed up and killed it on game day. That's what matters.
Terrible.
Yeah, what, are you gonna do?
What do you think of Miles Sanders in a full PPR?
Yes.
He's an RB1.
Love him.
Don't start him this week.
He's on a bye.
Because
Not about
But
it.
Aiden, we love him
we do like him.
a lot.
You could start him this week. We just advise against it.
Yeah.
We don't like to start players that are on a bye.
That's true. Although if you did start a couple weeks ago a quarterback that was on a bye over Cam Newton, you would have scored more points. So.
And if you started Cam Newton over Ben DiNucci last week, you would have scored more points.
Yeah, but if you were in a situation where you had to choose between Cam Newton and Ben DiNucci, I can imagine your team was not in a winning record situation. Right? If you're choosing between DiNucci and Cam Newton.
Okay, so would you play Dallas over Gurley in full PPR?
I would play Todd Gurley over the entire Dallas Cowboys offense.
Oh, joke stolen.
No, I would play DJ Dallas over Todd Gurley in a full PPR.
Full PPR, yes.
Todd Gurley
He's
can't
not
see
catching
straight.
any passes. Yeah,
And he can't see straight even when he runs the football.
Yeah, you got to go with Dallas.
Sam?
I think that might be my line. I think I'd still have to start Gurley over DJ Dallas.
Wow.
I think Gurley's definitely a safer play because you kind of know what you're going to get from him. Probably 60 yards, maybe a touchdown. But Dallas, I think...
Denver has a good run defense.
Hot and cold.
Let's say in Buffalo just gave up 100 to Damian Harris.
Yeah.
The elite Damian Harris.
I think I'm just worried about them kind of trying to mix it up with other options there in Seattle. So
That's fair.
Sure,
Very
very
fair.
fair.
he was the hot hand last week. It could be somebody else this week.
Definitely.
All right, in a full PPR, are you starting AJ Brown or Justin Jackson?
AJ Brown. I don't like. We already talked about. I don't like his matchup, but you're not benching AJ Brown for Justin Jackson.
Agreed. AJ Brown.
Concur.
Yep.
Concurred.
Love it.
Are you benching Zeke for Dallas in PPR this week? He's semi-serious. He's crying.
Kevin, we love you, and we're feeling your pain.
So I did just trade for Ezekiel Elliott, and I said this on Wednesday's show. I'm not playing him this week.
Yeah, with the injury and then Tony Pollard looking better when he does play, and then a game where you're not expecting a lot of fantasy points from running backs, I'm benching Zeke for just about anybody this week, but DJ Dallas for sure.
Yeah, I would do that.
It's a thing too that my dad and I had talked about is Zeke just going to throw in the towel on the season? Because Tony Pollard looks better. Tony Pollard wants to be on the field, right? He's running hard, just looks better overall skill-wise than Zeke right now. And we all know that Ezekiel Elliott's the better running back than Tony Pollard. It's just, does Zeke even give two shits about the rest of the season at this point? Because
I think that's the big point though too, and I think that he could just be like, you know what, the knee just hurts really bad. I just don't, just don't put me in. Don't put me in. Because why is he going to want to even maybe hurt himself more on a season that they're not going to win, that they're just not in a good position? So I could see him throwing in the towel.
He's getting paid either way. He already secured that long-term contract. So
Pollard could want to show up and show out because other teams might want to grab him later. So this is his opportunity to step up and really make a name for himself. And so I could totally see that happening.
And then just to bring up a point, in Dynasty, if you are a Zeke owner, if they don't bring Dak back, could this not turn into some huge thing with Zeke next year where he doesn't want to play for them anymore? Like, this could blow up in Dallas's face where everybody was talking about the new big three. Mm-hmm. They could end up with Amari Cooper and no quarterback or running back.
They could. I mean, I think the running backs, have historically, not been quiet about not being happy in certain situations, even if they have been paid or have yet to be paid. They're not typically quiet about those issues. So
Yeah, especially Zeke.
happening. Yeah.
I mean, we have discussed it, and I've heard Cowboys radio down here in Dallas talk about it. They might try for Trevor Lawrence. It's just rumors. There's no confirmation on that, but I completely disagree. I think they need to sign Dak Prescott. Jerry Jones has said we're going to take care of Dak Prescott, and I think a lot of people are taking that as we're going to sign him to a long-term contract, make sure he's well paid. Jerry Jones just meant he's going to make sure he gets the best medical attention and gets the best rehab he possibly can.
Jerry Jones actually meant he was going to hire a contract killer to kill him.
I think he just meant we delivered cookies to the hospital room. I think he's fine.
It's like,
which sucks because Dak is awesome.
Yeah, he is. And Jerry, it's Stephen Jones who does a lot of football decisions.
Sorry, y'all.
Those guys should not be making the decisions. And the thing is, they don't care, right? The Jones just want to make money. Their team has, in valuation since 2010, has it gone from $3 billion to $5 billion?
Yeah.
Like, they're the most valuable team in the world. FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, you name every single team in the world. The Cowboys beat them by at least, I think, $400 million is the next closest at $4.6 billion. All they care about is money. Jerry does not want to pay a guy that amount of money. The Cowboys are still going to make a stupid amount of money. Their cheerleaders have their own damn TV show. Like, they're going to make money. So that's all they care about. Jerry won his Super Bowls back in the 90s. He doesn't care anymore. He does not care anymore.
Here's another one. I can't see both of them being back. Do they fire McCarthy after 1 year, or does Kellen Moore walk?
Kellen Moore is going to walk. They have to fire the defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
He's so
They
bad.
invested too much in McCarthy. I mean, they gave him a 5-year contract. Like, I feel like you kind of have to, unless Jerry Jones is literally going to say, I screwed up, which we know he's not.
Which not going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
He's going to be there at least 3 years. So that tells me that the OC's gone, Moore's gone, and Nolan, who never should have been hired in the first place because he hasn't been in the league in, I think, 4 or 5 years, and he was terrible when he was last in the league. There's
a better chance of seeing Jesus come down to earth and walk on the ground than Jerry Jones admitting he was wrong.
Yeah.
Yep.
About anything.
But what's great about the draft this year, we got to see the, Bond villain lair that is Jerry Jones' house. And so he's just sitting there petting a fluffy white cat saying,
Yep.
No, we're not paying that.
And then we got to see Bill Belichick's dog making draft picks.
Oh, that was the best.
Clearly didn't work out.
That was so good, though.
Bill, we need you in the room next time there. Big guy. This classic, 1970s wooden chair and wooden table. Love Bill.
Should he trade? Aiden wants to know if he should trade Gurley for Boyd or Fuller. He's got Robinson, Gibson, and Jacob.
If you could trade Todd Gurley for Tyler Boyd,
immediately,
that's not even a question.
Yeah, that Bengals rest of season schedule is not very good. We talked about it on last night's show with T. Higgins, and not the best. It's going to be very hit or miss. But one thing we have seen is when the Bengals get down, they go to Tyler Boyd. He is Joe Burrow's safety valve. So I think in terms of rest of season schedule, he might be one of the most matchup proof wide receivers. And if I can get Tyler Boyd for a broken down, not very efficient Todd Gurley, hell yes, I'm doing it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I like that move a lot.
Yeah. Can we talk about from a dynasty standpoint? I had no clue Tyler Boyd was only 25 years old.
Yep.
He's incredibly young.
Baby.
Yep.
This season, he hasn't seen fewer than 5 targets in a game, and only 2 games has he seen below 8 targets. So,
no.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Todd Gurley's a shell of himself.
And so most of the time, which means you know what time it is.
It's 10:56 where I am.
11, 10, 56.
11, 10, 56.
10:56.
Sounds
Your
like
clock-
2020 in a nutshell.
Your clock is weird.
Yeah.
It's 11,
Got
10.
2 hour hands, right?
Yeah.
And then the minute hand.
That would stress me out.
Those clocks that have the date hand inside the hour hand with the minute hand screws me up. I hate it.
They're so annoying.
It's almost
My
like a
clock
Harry
has
Potter
the-
clock. You see
Yep.
where everyone is in the world.
But yes,
Yes.
Faith, I do know what time it is, actually.
Ryan's fancy ass clock back there. Next to his wife's trophy and Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
So I started this segment as a low rostered help, and then Ryan made it better
That's
Wow.
right.
by making it also a cheap DFS.
Is something wrong with your fingers?
There's something wrong with your finger.
Whatever.
So
Been a rough
thi-
week, okay. So Joe,
Hi.
I'm gonna start with you. I usually end
Oh.
with you, but I'm gonna start with you.
Oh baby. All right. So for
IDP.
IDPs, I'm only giving you one, or am I going through every position?
Just one.
Just one? Oh, that's cute, Josh. You've given two most weeks.
I wrote down 2. I usually write down 2, but I'll only provide 1 this week.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So I'm gonna go with Leonard Williams. He's rostered in 16% of leagues. For those of you who don't play IDP or are like, who the hell is Leonard Williams? He was a Jets draft pick. I believe he was 3rd overall. He's now currently with the other New York team, playing still in the Meadowlands with the Giants, but he has a matchup against the Washington football team this week. I'm trying to pull up his game log, but CBS is currently being a little slow. But last time he played Washington, just a few weeks ago, he had 3 total tackles and a sack. Oh, I'm sorry, 5 total tackles and a sack. That Washington football team offensive line is not very good. And if you're looking at cheap guys to potentially grab, Leonard Williams, his second highest scoring game of the season was against Washington. His first highest was actually against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which kind of blows my mind there. He had 5 total tackles and a sack, but 4 of them were solos, which gives him obviously an extra bump. So I think Leonard Williams has a fantastic week this week against a team that just 4 weeks ago now at this point, he already put up a sack on and was able to stuff the run a little bit as well.
Josh, give me one.
I wrote down
Thank you,
2,
Josh. Okay.
but I'm going to go with the lower rostered of the 2.
Yeah.
Josh is covering
In
the
Laird
roster
we
by,
trust.
running backs.
Ooh.
Patrick Laird is rostered in 2.1% of ESPN leagues. We know the Dolphins hate Jordan Howard. That's been proven. Myles Gaskin is on IR. Matt Breida has been ruled out. Who the hell else are they going to give the football to?
Patrick.
They just acquired DeAndre Washington, which I believe he's out this week due to COVID protocols.
Yep.
So in Laird, we trust. He's going to see some volume. He's shown that he can be an effective pass catcher for them. So if you're in PPR leagues, I wouldn't mind throwing a dart throw. And he's 4,000 on DraftKings, which is absolutely dirt cheap. It allows you to pay up to get someone like a Dalvin Cook or Christian McCaffrey or some of the higher priced wide receivers as well.
Just to throw out the healthy wide receiver or running back depth chart the Dolphins have right now: Patrick Laird, Jordan Howard, Salvin Ahmed, and Chandler Cox.
Who's
Who
a
do you think's
fullback?
Yeah.
Who do you think's getting the carries in that offense?
Patrick Laird,
It's
baby.
going to be Patrick Laird. Yeah. Ryan.
Demir Bird played 100% of the snaps for the Patriots last week.
Love Demir Bird.
Actually leads all Patriots position players in snaps played this season. 20 targets over the last 4 games, and the Jets aren't going to stop him. He's available in 98% of Yahoo leagues, and I don't know his price off the top of my head in DFS, but I'm imagining it's dirt cheap.
I
Since
can tell you in a second.
Since week 3, Demir Bird has not seen any less than 92% of the snaps for this team. He is the best wide receiver currently on the New England Patriots. Not saying that there's a lot of competition. Yeah, the competition's very slim, but Demir Bird is a good wide receiver. It was a very underrated signing, I think, when they got him because he's very trustworthy. And he understands the freaking playbook. That's half of the battle in New England. So, Josh, did you get?
Oh,
it?
he's not on the main
Surprise?
slate. That's why I can't find him.
Oh, Monday night. That's why. Yes.
Oh, there you
it
go.
would be
Monday
in a
night.
Monday night showdown.
He'll be a fun one to play in the Monday Night Showdown then.
Yes, definitely. Shouldn't be
What
too
you doing
expensive.
down there,
I think.
Ryan?
I almost knocked my water off.
Drinking
Would have been a huge mess.
water.
Yeah.
Water.
It's Tang, I swear.
Yes,
Water.
I'm
Every
the
time I
one
say it,
person in the
Tang.
United States who still drinks Tang.
It's
Listen,
vodka.
Ryan, I get it. You're still holding on to that hope of becoming an astronaut at some point, so you
There you
drink
go.
Tang. Actually, side note, have any of you guys watched on Disney Plus The Right Stuff?
You've
No.
got the right stuff.
So it's a show
Baby.
based on the 1960 space race. It's really good.
Nice.
Nick, so Nathan, the guy who played Nathan Scott in One Tree Hill, plays one of the Apollo 7.
The only thing I've watched on Disney Plus is Hamilton. So
That's
Not
the
even
only thing
Mandalorian.
you've watched?
yeah. I don't. We don't watch a lot of Disney Plus.
I have
The
to watch
Mandal-
episode 2 of The Mandalorian.
But the
saw it
Mandalorian's
last
on
night.
there.
Yeah, right.
The first, 5 minutes of last week's
Joe is not
episode-
very up to date on popular
I was
science
talking,
fiction.
but okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big I think Star Wars and that entire world and universe is great. I think Marvel's great. I don't watch the movies. I'm not invested in it. Yeah, Sam,
How are you friends with me or Josh?
Right?
fantasy football. That might be a big reason.
Or Ryan,
Um,
because Ryan's down there with his Harry Potter fandom.
Harry Potter! Like all
like-
of these things.
Uh-huh.
Something I don't
But
like.
basically, we should just kick Joe out and it'll be
Listen,
the cool
listen,
kid
no,
club.
I am a video game nerd. I'm not
Yeah.
like the
I was gonna say, so many nerdums. We don't have to nerd shame.
yeah. I was
But
gonna
we
say
can fat
I am.
No,
a
I was
huge-
against that too. I'm the one who called you guys out on that.
Yeah, I'm just a huge video game nerd. So I have different universes and fantasy worlds essentially that I thoroughly enjoy. Maggie knows I love the game Overwatch. That's one of my favorites. But yeah, and I know none of you have any clue what Overwatch is.
I've heard of it.
I have
Oh!
underwatched it.
Oh,
Maggie calling you out.
Oh, we did watch Frozen 2. You're right.
yes,
Right, we did
Maggie.
watch Frozen 2.
Yes.
Also Peep Luna in that profile
You
picture.
look so cute.
Even your creepy eye in that profile
Hey,
picture.
hating her life, might I add. She absolutely hates being held.
I just like that Maggie called you out from the other side of your apartment.
Yeah.
She's right here. She could have just walked over.
That's my favorite part.
Sitting in the bedroom. It's a one-bedroom apartment. She has to walk 10 feet.
Don't walk shame her.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. I'm the asshole in this situation.
Exactly.
She could have just screamed from the other room.
But
Yeah,
she
but
doesn't. She's
was
being
funnier.
polite. She's
Yeah.
just sliding it in there. Just being like,
And
"Please
adding
don't
to
fly
our
away."
viewership, Joe. Jesus.
Yeah.
what's the matter with
Yeah.
She
Seriously.
can add to the viewership while also walking over.
you?
So what? She's gonna walk in with her laptop, like, "Babe, you're
Yeah.
wrong." Like,
She's on her-
out.
Yeah.
We need those comment numbers.
I would also just like to thank Maggie for finally making an appearance on a live show.
Yeah.
She still hasn't said anything.
Doesn't matter. She made an
I want to
appearance.
thank Maggie for being Joe's better half.
Much better half.
Yes.
There you go.
Talking about outkicking your coverage.
I want to thank Maggie for all her amazing graphic work and design work for the Speakeasy, which episode 2 drops Tuesday
Yay!
with everybody's favorite fantasy football stepmom Lauren.
Woo!
She's my second favorite.
You
your
can
first
Google
favorite
her name now.
Oh, stepmom.
What?
I asked Ryan who his first favorite fantasy football stepmom was.
I just like being an asshole to Lauren. I don't want to be put on the spot about it.
I don't want to be put in the spot.
Well, then don't say things because I will put you on the spot. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I think we have one last question here from Aiden.
Yeah, there's a trade question.
A Monty trade.
Oh, Chase loves David Montgomery. At FF_intervention. Go ask him on Twitter. Anyway, should Aiden trade David Montgomery for Godwin or Woods?
I mean, if you need a wide receiver, I have zero issue with that.
The one thing I'll say is Godwin's championship schedule is wonderful. So if you can get to the playoffs without Godwin, and when I say championship, I mean 14, 15, 16, so playoff schedule. If you can get to the playoffs without Godwin and obviously without Montgomery, adding Godwin to your roster is not a bad idea if you know you're going to make the playoffs. If you're sitting at 8 wins right now, 7 wins.
I love how we're in week 9 and we're not saying, why are you not smash accepting this trade to go get Chris Godwin? Like, that's how disappointing he's been with the injuries. It's sad.
Especially for David Montgomery, but able-bodied running backs are so hard to come by right now as well.
For sure. I mean, if you're making this trade, this means that you're flush at running back and you're fine there. So if you need a receiver, I like this trade. I might lean a little bit towards Woods.
Yeah, why are we not talking about Robert Woods? He's a wide receiver 1 right now.
He's a wide receiver 1, and then he doesn't have that competition of AB showing up.
And I just went and looked, and they actually have the easiest playoff schedule.
So I might actually just do this with Robert Woods.
Like legit cupcakes. It's the Patriots, Jets, and Seahawks.
It's Minnesota, Atlanta, and Detroit.
Yeah,
What are you looking at?
I think it's really going to be, all right, who is your trade partner willing to part with?
Yeah.
Like, if they're willing to give up Woods, great. If they're not willing to give up Godwin, you still get Woods. So it works out either way, really.
Yeah, for sure.
I would go get Robert Woods.
One positive to Robert Woods is he's already had his bye. Godwin and David Montgomery still have bye weeks coming up.
Yeah.
Robert Woods plays Seattle twice, San Francisco, New England, and the Jets. His playoff schedule is the New England Patriots, New York Jets, and Seattle Seahawks.
You love that. I was thinking about trading him in my Dynasty League, and now I'm like, well, maybe I'll reconsider it because I know that playoffs, I'm hoping to make it.
Yeah,
I was thinking about trading Robert Woods too, Dr. Octagon, and maybe if you would like to take a look at the trade-off for us.
So it's not going to happen. Also, officially, Schefter just tweeted Sammy Watkins is out against the Panthers.
Oh.
Noted.
Wait, Sammy Watkins is hurt?
That's weird.
Oh my god!
When does that happen?
Blown.
Never. What do you mean? It's always healthy.
Anyway,
always plays well after week 1.
Sam, do you have anything that you would like to add, want to share, want to tell the world about, want to yell at any of these 3 about? The floor is yours for about 12 seconds.
Perfect.
Wow.
Just want to say really quick how grateful I am that you guys invited me on. I love you all very much. I feel like,
Feelings mutual, Sam.
Thank you. This fantasy community is wonderful, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of it. And just, to even get mentioned in any of the tweets and all these things, anytime it lights me up. I'm just so grateful. I have my show with a fantasy debate with Sam and Tate. That's going to be on at 10. So in an hour, we'll be doing our show. And then every Sunday morning, we do start sits as well before games start. So check us out if you haven't already on Fantasy Focused. We appreciate every like and subscribe across the board. Besides that, I hope everyone's, 2020 is going to end well. It's been rough, but we're all here in fantasy spirit for each other. So.
Yeah.
Make sure you go follow Sam. She's
awesome. Follow me if you want on Twitter or on Instagram. On Instagram, it's at Sam_awesome.
Because she is exactly that.
Yeah,
I try.
You can see her. You can see her awesome Halloween costume that she had.
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
It wasn't very good, but I was very much not a fan. I don't do creepy things.
I hate clowns too, and I was just like, damn, that is like fire, but holy crap, I don't want to like this costume.
I was Pennywise. I did our whole show last week as in my full costume too, and I was laughing. And the funniest part was in the comments, everyone thinks, Sam, we love it when you laugh, but please stop laughing. You're scaring us.
That's great.
Yeah, I could see it. Because, your makeup was on point, and I was just like, no.
Yeah, she went all out. It was sick.
I did. And then because I had to go out, and I wanted to be, COVID safe for people, I got one of those KN masks, the 95 masks, and I added teeth to it, and I had blood. And
it was even creepier.
I somehow made it creepier.
Well, because it was the teeth. It was the teeth that made it creepier.
The teeth made it very creepy.
I made those with clay.
Also, it was 3D.
Yeah,
fantastic. You can also follow Sam on Instagram for pictures of her cat and her DIY projects and how much she likes to sweat during a workout.
Yeah,
Get
I
all
do.
of the above. It's a mixture of things. You never know what you're going to get on Sam's Instagram from day to day.
Always fun stuff.
It's a good follow.
It's always a
Thank
surprise. So
That was
this
more than
is
12 seconds.
well, you interrupted her, so I had to give her more time.
Appreciate you.
Anyway, don't make me mute you. So this has been Start Sit Different Day. Joe's gonna give an official outro because that's his job and that's what he wants to do. But I'm here to say it's 2020. If putting up your Christmas decorations the first Saturday in November is what makes you happy, then you do you.
Guess,
I might go do that, or I might just lay on the
Sound
couch all day.
advice.
I haven't decided. I
wow.
haven't figured out what I'm doing.
Guess what
Josh's
Maggie and I.
favorite holiday is Christmas. And I actually I couldn't figure out if I was going to get him the Friends Christmas sweater or the Mean Girls Christmas sweater with the scene from them doing Jingle Bell Rock on it. It's like it's a toss up.
Mean Girls.
And it's a crop top too. So I was
Mean
like,
Girls.
ooh,
God.
Mean Girls.
it's gotta be
Mean Girls. So wait,
Yeah.
why is this even a debate? Why is this even a debate?
So it's
Why-
an Ezekiel Elliott sweater.
yeah.
Exactly. Wheezy wheeze. All right, Joe, take us out.
All right. Also, just to end, I believe it was when we had Hitman on. We talked about if Robert Woods would be a wide receiver one. Yeah, Maggie, it was me. That's not even a question. Mean Girls. We talked about if Robert Woods would be a wide receiver one, low end, by the end of the season. Standard, he's 8. PPR, he's 13. Just keep that in mind.
You would
Hitman-
definitely expect that to be flipped with Robert Woods. So.
Right? With standard 2 rushing touchdowns and carries
that'll help.
as well. So just something to keep in mind. I know Mike said he wasn't going to be there, and I had faith Robert Woods could make it as a low-end wide receiver one. All right. I actually, quickly, last one. Aiden just dropped in. Should he trade Adam Thielen from Michael Thomas and Tyler Boyd?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, if you're getting both
Quickly.
of them for Adam Thielen,
Yeah, what?
absolutely.
What?
Smash
Who
accept.
got drunk and offered you a trade last night? Crying out loud.
Oh, hold on. You want to talk about drunk trades? Give me 1 second here. This is going to be a fun one to end on. I was telling Josh and Ryan this before our show on Wednesday, or yesterday. We let in my buddy's younger brother into the league, and we thought he'd be a good addition, right? He knows football. He's a sophomore, junior in high school, so he knows. He traded Alvin Kamara. Let me just tell you the return here. He's 2-6. He traded Nelson Aguilar and Alvin Kamara for Travis Fulgham, Darrell Henderson, and Amari Cooper. He said he needed flex depth.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
Someone just
They got
explained
the
it.
flex depth.
I say someone just explained to him that flex depth is not a thing in fantasy football, and we'll
That's
go
what I
from
said.
there.
I'm like, Jake, you don't need
had
flex
flex
depth.
depth.
You need Alvin Kamara. Oh,
Aw.
idiot. Can't wait to have him in the league for years to come. He's the new official taco of the league.
Everyone needs one. Everyone
also-
needs
Yeah,
one.
Everyone
Also,
needs a taco.
He traded him to the best team in the league. Hate it.
I think we need
Absolutely
to
hate
check
it.
the receipts on that. Maybe there was some exchange of beer goods
Right.
and other favors for that trade.
Collusion.
Collusion. That
Speaking
smells
of
of
the league.
collusion. Yeah.
But
Smells
here's-
of inexperience.
Yeah, no. He said that our tacos.
I agree, Dingus. I've been thinking about tacos since we started this.
I said the whole
Stupid
show
show.
before we got on air started with tacos.
with tacos. Yeah.
Full circle. Bring it
All right.
Why not both?
Yeah, why not? All right. So for the one Hudsonian, for FF_leap of faith, for Samantha R. Holt and Sam_awesome, correct?
Yes.
On Instagram, for the Fantasy 5, also known as Wheezy Weeze the Mustache Man, TikTok and YouTube page coming soon. For myself, Joe_Zolo, you can follow Club Fantasy on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Club Fantasy FFL. The URL is clubfantasyffl.com. Kira's Cash Grabs is going to be live today. My Blurred Lines pick will also be coming out very shortly. Spoiler alert, if you're watching right now, I have the Tennessee Titans -5.5 against the Chicago Bears. I like them a lot this week. And again, to preface that, The lines and the odds may favor Tennessee, but earlier in the week, there were not projected odds out. So I went with where the cash was going. 80% of the cash was being bet on the Bears to cover that line, which I thought was utterly absurd, which is why I took the Tennessee Titans. Be sure to check out Sam's Start-Sit show with her group tomorrow morning. That's at 10 Eastern, correct?
Yes, it's at 10 Eastern, 7 a.m. our time.
Well, that's early for you. Wow.
Yes.
It is early. And then I have to get up and put the face on, and it's early.
So go support
Girl
Sam because she
problem.
has to put her face on very early
Thank
in the
I
morning.
do. I appreciate you guys.
And then if you have any last-minute stuff, I will be on Instagram starting around 30 minutes before kickoff, so you can get any last-minute stuff, maybe if you want a second opinion as well from what Sam and her team are going to tell you guys. Always remember, defense wins championships, offense wins fantasy. Next time you will see us live will be with Kira Wyatt-Tarowski on our Wednesday show. She will be joining us for Week 10 Fantasy Football, and the next thing you will see from us will be the Speakeasy Episode 2 with none other than Stepmom Lauren. You can Google her name now. She pops up right at the top. So be
Follow
sure.
at the Speakeasy FF on Twitter.
Yes, at the Speakeasy FF on Twitter, and we will see you on Wednesday.